Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. So today I'm really excited to show off a game called Gazzlers. I've been meaning to cover this in the past, but I missed it when it originally released and haven't really had a chance to fit it in. But recently the developer reached out to me and said, "Hey Matt, we have a huge update to our game coming out and we're hoping you'll go over it." So obviously this video is sponsored, but this is a really fun title that I have honestly been playing in my downtime. So let's get into it. I'll talk about, why I enjoy this game, where it sits in. I know I constantly go over the fact that we need much bigger, broader AAA style games in VR, but a lot of people still lean towards the casual side and just want something that's fun to play. And this is that game. It is just an absolute blast. So let's just start things off with the basic info. While Gazzlers might appeal like an on-rails quirky shooter, it's actually a decently complex roguelite wave shooter. The premise here is simple. You're a machine stationed on the back of a train, which is actually the last-ditch effort to save the machine god. Unfortunately though, this world is filled with creatures called Gazzlers, and they'll do whatever it takes to stop you. Now the Gazzlers remind me of the war boys from Mad Max if you happen to turn them into a silly looking cartoon. But this is not a knock at the graphics, because this cartoonish style works so well in VR. And while we're speaking about the graphics, the latest 1.3 patch also optimizes the game for the Quest 3, so things now look even better. Now your train ride to save the machine god will cross 3 separate worlds and roughly 20 levels. You'll have 2 separate randomized upgrades to pick from between each wave. There's plenty of scrap to collect on mission to help with future upgrades, and each of the game's 3 biomes are separated by an epic boss fight. Now as a roguelite, you can expect to die multiple times along this journey, and this is where you get to put all your scrap to use and pick from a large collection of different upgrades. There's 4 separate difficulty levels to choose from, but even on the game's easiest mode, this is no walk in the park, so expect a challenge. Now that was everything included in the original version of the game, but the latest 1.3 update also adds new components that'll change your projectiles and the spread of your bullets, also provide some damage buffs, and there's some new faulty mods that give you risk versus reward type additions to the game. Now, before we get into my experience with Gazzlers, I just want to call myself out. I've been on this channel preaching how VR needs more depth, bigger AAA style games, and these little casual games are not going to help it grow. But at the same time, I can't deny the fact that sometimes I fall in love with games like this and just throw them on whenever I have some free time and really don't want to think too much. Just want a nice, enjoyable distraction that I could keep coming back to because it has a great gameplay loop and a nice progression system for replayability. For many people, this is all they want. They just want that fun, casual gameplay they could jump into, and I gotta admit, there are other games that I put in the same category as this that I played a ton of, like Space Pirate Trainer, Mothergunship Forged, and Until You Fall, even though that one's a little bit different. So yes, I've been saying we need bigger games, but at the same time, you gotta acknowledge these games are fun, and that's what people want. So let's get into my experience where I could show you just how fun this game actually is. Uh-oh, this doesn't sound good.
Yes, more scrap!
Whoa! Holy moly! Oh no, I'm done for. Ow! We got a new gunner? Just like my other favorite wave shooter, Space Pirate Trainer, in Gazzlers, you immediately know what you need to do. Those bad guys out there are the enemies, and I need to shoot them. Pretty simple. You might also initially think, wow, this is way too easy. But this game knows how to easily overwhelm you. You have to either dodge or block bullets with your shield, but the more you utilize your shield, the quicker it burns out. It's fairly easy to dodge out of the way of oncoming bullets or to get your shield up in time after you see the shots coming, but this title loves to pull your attention into multiple directions, and every once in a while, a few hits sneak in. And after you quickly pick up those basics, you'll start noticing a lot more to this game. There's multiple different ways to eliminate your enemies, such as shooting vehicles' weak spots, which do critical damage, focusing fire on the driver so the vehicle will lose control, or shooting out some of the explosives on the road. You'll also notice that certain weapons are a lot more effective against different vehicles. So like most of the roguelites, there's definitely a skill gap between knowing the basics and knowing a lot of the more advanced techniques. Plus there's plenty of unlockable buffs that'll just make you stronger over time. You have some standard upgrades like extra health, damage, and shield, and then there's some cooler upgrades like unlocking more legendary weapons. I personally like to start with the scrap upgrades, that way I just level up faster and faster. So there's really not a lot more to say about this game. After my brief description and you guys seeing plenty of on-screen footage, you know what you're in for. It's a fun time with a lot of replayability. I enjoy a game like this because I don't really have to think, ooh, I don't have a lot of free time, what am I gonna get into, where did I leave off in the storyline? This is just, you know what? This is going to be one of those games wherever I'm like, I got a free few minutes. What am I doing? I will jump into it and I'll enjoy it every time, and also get that little nice achievement because I know I'm getting scrap and unlocking new stuff. That's it. That's what this is all about. Just a fun time. If you're looking for a good casual waves shooter experience, I definitely recommend this game. It is definitely up there with the other titles I enjoy, like Mothergunship Forged and also Space Pirate Trainer, which I've said 12 times in this video. And before we end this video, here's a few more clips and a little glimpse at a boss fight.
All right, Gazzlers, bring it. I want all the scrap. Scrap is the most important thing to me. I want to level up and be strong. I overheated my gun. And we're gonna have to dodge more.
Freaking
How are we
gamblers!
supposed to survive this? These damn missiles curve. Okay, no driver. A new driver.
Shit's too hot!
Come on. Come on, gun. Almost got him.
And that was today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And as always, I'll see you on next time.